Thank you very much, Mr. Sehome. And now we will move to member questions. I will start by recognizing myself for 5 minutes. As lawmakers, having access to the best and most recent data available is absolutely critical to making informed decisions on any policy matter. This extends to recycling for certain. H.R. 8059, the Recycling and Composting Accountability Act, includes several provisions that focus on collecting data on recycling and composting programs. Mr. Alloway, how will access to more data on recycling help states and localities with their programming?
Chairman Tonko, thank you for the question. I would like to reflect on the experience here in Oregon, which is recognized as having perhaps one of the best existing data sets on recycling in the nation. We have found that data can be very helpful. Our data-driven approach is what helped Oregon to avoid some false solutions that have been proposed in some other states, and to really evaluate and recognize both the potential, the costs of our existing programs and the potential cost and benefits of a variety of different potential policy solutions. So we were able to conduct a much more robust and transparent evaluation of the pros and cons of different policy solutions because we had a very good set of data to draw on. More data can be very helpful. There is certainly no harm in data. But I would caution against a sort of a data-only approach, as we've seen in our own experience and some other places, that the busyness of collecting and evaluating data can become in itself its own weather system that consumes all of the bandwidth and prevents anything else from ever being done. Data does not solve problems. Data needs to be accompanied with policy solutions. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Johnson, why is data collection an important component of improving our recycling system?
Well, thank you. I completely agree that if without the data, you're basically driving blind. You need to know how much you're collecting now and what you're trying to achieve. And without that, I don't really understand how you can make an accurate policy decision. So you absolutely need the data to be able to make good decisions at the federal, state, and local levels.
Thank you. And I agree that comprehensive data will assist communities across the nation by improving and maintaining their recycling programs. Beyond assisting communities with their efforts, data also helps businesses. So, Ms. Irwin, how will addressing information gaps in the recycling landscape assist businesses with their efforts to participate in what we call that circular economy?
Thank you for the question, Chair Tonko. So on the business end, circular economy has had a lot of criticism, mainly because it lacks data and the ability to understand how to use these data points. How can we track progress? And so I think that data points and collecting more reporting and standardizing what data points are collected would inform better decision making for businesses and also help them understand where the best opportunities are to invest in infrastructure and new technologies.
I thank you for that. By filing or filling those critical information gaps, policymakers at all levels will be equipped with the right tools to make much needed improvements to our nation's recycling infrastructure. And businesses then, I believe, will be able to make informed investments. During this hearing, I'm sure we'll hear claims about the need for single-use plastics. The Break Free from Plastic Pollution Act recognizes that there are certain applications where plastics are appropriate, and it does not seek to prohibit or limit their use. This includes medical and public health products, personal protective equipment, and personal hygiene products. I think it's important to make these distinctions amongst the specific uses. Ms. Irwin, do the businesses that care about sustainability believe these sorts of exclusions are appropriate while still seeking to limit single-use plastic consumer products that can be more easily replaced or reduced?
Yes, businesses have shown commitments across the board in different sectors, especially consumer-facing sectors. They are interested in setting up these systems, these new circular value chains to meet customer demand. It's expected that, the use of plastic will double in the next 20 years, and consumers largely want to switch to alternatives, I think 90% at this point. And so they don't want to see this waste in their communities, and they want the reusable and sustainable packaging alternatives.
Well, I thank you for those responses, and I see that my time is nearly expired. So we'll move to recognize Representative McKinley, our subcommittee ranking member, for 5 minutes of questioning.